All right, you all. I am going live again today. It's our day. I'm going to set up here on StreamYard. So, oh, what happened? Let's see. I want to make sure I have StreamYard going at the same time. We definitely want to talk about what is going on. Here we go, into the studio. What is happening currently with what was said with the Trump administration the other day. Let me get StreamYard going on X so that we can make sure people are able to join on X. Add myself to the stage. Okay. All right. I thought this was a good time to cover some things because everyone is very excited about what was being said yesterday with Trump's comments in his cabinet meeting. We know we know how Trump moves, right? And he's not always politically correct. And you know what? I respect him for that. I don't have a problem with it. To be honest with you, he says some things. Yes, it's not politically correct, and that has been a problem because with all of this political correctness, what is happening for us, right, as the freedmen? So one of the things, of course, I'll be sharing my screen again, and some of the things that I want to make sure is seen is some of the things that are being said, right? And some of the things that are being said by Trump is that he is now targeting the Somalians uh, in Minnesota. So he is targeting them at this point in time regarding all the fraud, right? And we know the fraud has been ongoing. It's billions of dollars that has been uncovered via even the administration, the government, local, state administrators or politicians, excuse me, are not speaking on the fraud that is ongoing with the Somalian community. But we're going to go through some of this. One of the things I do want to play. Give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see. Again, I will be using anything from X that is ongoing on X so that you can see what I'm speaking of. But we definitely want to talk about some of the fraud that is ongoing. And that's the major, major issue of what's happening and why he's targeting the Somalians, right? So let me find, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to find where they are actually speaking about the fraud in Somalia or from the Somalian community. And I'm going to find it and I'm going to pull it up because it's going to be something that he is referencing. But you know what? Let's go with his. Let me stop. Let me roll it back. Let's go to what Trump has actually stated and what has everyone in an uproar. So give me a moment. I'm going to find and locate on my page, right, what Trump has said that has everyone in uproar regarding um, his statements. Right now, he's racist for stating some things regarding the Somalian community, considering all of the fraud that has been ongoing. So we'll play that first. Then we'll go into looking at what they've uncovered with the Somalian community with fraud. So let me find what Trump has said because I did repost it on my page so we can listen to it. There's a lot going on. So let's see. We're gonna share screen, and I hope you all can hear what is being said because I know last time I found out people were having an issue with hearing exactly what was stated um, through the live stream. So hopefully you can hear it, and I want to make sure that it's also been you can hear it on the live on YouTube as well. So we're going to get to it. I haven't exactly at this point started it. So let's see. I want to make sure you all can hear and also on the live stream. Make sure you all can hear. Okay. All right. So I'm working two devices. So it looks like we're going to be able to hear. Okay. So now I'm going to go back over here and play it live. As you can see, it's moving. It's up on the screen. And we're going to hear what President Trump. Oh, shoot. Oh, here we go. Okay. What President Trump had to say. And I'm going to make sure my screen is also. Want to make sure it is big enough for everybody to see. Okay. Um, all right. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to play. Let's see. Because I'm sharing. Let's see if it plays here. We want to hear it. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if we can hear it now. Okay. We're going to stop it there. So we're going to stop sharing it there. So, we see Trump is definitely, oh, I didn't even share my screen. I'm going to show it again. Trump is definitely making sure that he speaks his mind. And again, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to make sure it's shared on YouTube so people can see and hear. We'll replay it one more time, one more again, and then we're going to go into some of the fraud that we know that the Somalian community is being prosecuted for, and we we know some judges decided that they were not going to prosecute the beings for what they were doing. Right? We know that actually happened. So let's see. We're going to view this tab, and let's see. We're going to play it one more time, and we want to make sure that you all see it and hear it. We're going to share the tab. Okay. Let's see. And we're going to, oh, we're in YouTube. Hold on. We're going to do it again. This is the tab. Okay. Here's what we want to share. Make sure you all can see. And we'll share again. We're going to share screen again in StreamYard. Okay, so I want to make sure we're sharing our screens and then we're going to play. I want to see, make sure we're sharing in. Are we not sharing in YouTube? Okay. All right, so we're going to share YouTube. And we're going to share in StreamYard. Okay, And we're going to play one more time so y'all can hear what he said. Oh, all right. Here we go. Let's replay this again. Watch again. Oh, hold on. What's going on with my tab? We want to play this one more time. Is it stuck? Let's see. You want to view tab X? Okay. Here we go. Let's see if we'll watch it again. Okay. And let's make sure it is volume. Here we go.
And we don't want them in our country. I don't want them. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too. I can say it about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
All right. So I'm going to stop for a minute and we're going to get back to that. But the fact of the matter is that Trump literally states that they are complaining, and they are here in America complaining, considering they're having a good life here, right? And so, and he says he did call Ilhan Omar garbage. And he literally stated that these individuals are coming to America from these third world nations, and they are now complaining about America and what America offers them. Mind you, many of these beings were refugees, asylum seekers, and they came to America for a better life and now have a problem with America and Americans, right? So this in itself is becoming an issue. And we've seen this before, right? We've seen this as well. We're going to talk about how immigration has impacted us, the freedmen, as Americans anyway. We know that immigration has impacted us on several fronts for really hundreds of years, right? So now that we have a lot more immigrants, humiliated immigrants coming to America, and now they're trying to say that this present president is exemplifying racism. We got to talk about it, you all, because at the end of the day, when we talk about racism, we know the freedmen have been the only Black people in America. Right. We've been the only Black people here. We use Black as our ethnicity, as our ethnonym. We know that we have done so many things legislatively, right, to rectify our issues of discrimination civil rights, Black Panther, all of these things for us in our country. And now we have these other humiliated beings coming to America, operating in race and our identity, and now want to say that this present president is being racist. Doesn't apply to them. You know why it doesn't apply to them? They did a SWOT analysis. This is what I say. They completed a SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. They never ever thought they would be threatened for the simple fact because they are not freedmen. They're not Black Americans, right? We've heard that numerous of times. I heard it all the time when I was in New York City. No, I'm not Black. I'm Jamaican. I'm not Black. I'm Bahamian. Whatever it was, they were not Black Americans, right? So now you want to claim Black and say that you're being discriminated against. Nope. You came here for opportunities. Oh, wait a minute. Black people, Black Americans in America don't take advantage of their opportunities. We came for opportunities and we're going to make this money, right? The strength of this nation, being a capitalistic nation, we can come here, we can make money. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Now, oh, America is becoming a weak nation because guess what? We've allowed so many immigrants into the country that are not assimilating. And so with that, they're even saying that, guess what? America was built by immigrants. Now, also with this present president, even though he's an immigrant, right? A lot of his cabinet members are immigrants, but they're upholding American philosophy and ideas. And they have acknowledged the freedmen, right? And I'm going to show this video again. We're going to get into it because I'm going to show the video of when we went to the White House, how the president did state he was open for business with the freedmen. And so we have to take advantage of this opportunity because I see a lot of things aligning here for us, right? The fact of the matter, I've heard many of our people in the grassroots speak about, oh, well, Trump needs to do more things about immigration. Okay, no. There's a pause right now on immigration. He's put a pause on it. He's put pause on visas. He's put pause on refugees and asylum seekers. And there is legislation by a congressperson to make sure that there is a permanent pause for a moment, for at least 4 years. I think he said at least 4 years. We want immigration moratorium. I've been advocating or campaigning for immigration moratorium since the beginning when Trump got into office, and I want it for 20 years, right? That's where I'm at. We need to really assess what is going on, and we as freedmen, we need to get in our rightful position. And at this point in time, we have the opportunity to do a lot of things for us as Americans first and as the freedmen. So for me, at this point in time, you know what? Some of his words or whatever may not be politically correct. He even used the B word. But at the end of the day, Trump is on point. And for those of us that have said, oh, we need to hold Trump accountable, here's your opportunity. You can definitely hold Trump accountable. Okay, so we're going to get back into the video. We're going to get into the video one with Ilhan Omar. Well, know what? You know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to look for the video of, let's do one more. We're going to look at a video of all of the, one, we're going to look at this, and then we're going to go back to the fraud with the Somalians. But this is something I have been posting for the last couple of days online. And this is from former President Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, and what he said about immigrants coming to America. Now, people are having a problem with what Trump is saying, but this was saying, he said this in 1907. Okay, screen. I want everybody to see that this is something that was said in 1907 by Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, let's see. I don't want to, do I want to share it? No, I don't want to share this one. Give me a moment. I want to go to StreamYard. Make sure I'm sharing the right thing. Let's share screen. And I want you to see what I've been posting. And I snatched this from somebody online because I knew the time would come where we would need to see this. And this from, again, Theodore Roosevelt. And this is what he said about immigration and immigrants. Let's see. Oh. I don't have mine. Sorry. I want to make sure I have my YouTube up. I didn't share screen in YouTube. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen in YouTube. And I'm going to share to you what was said by this president in 1907, right? And let me see, I'm going to get back to StreamYard, share again. And then you should see, I want to make sure it all comes up at the same time. Okay, so I'm having, hold on, it's coming. I'm going to share. Forgive me, having a little technical going so fast. Okay, so want to make sure I'm sharing in both screens so you can see what Teddy Theodore wrote. Okay, so let's see, it's uploading in YouTube. It's taking a moment. I want you to view this. I'm going to share these tabs for you. Okay, all right, I think we're in. All right, so I want you to see, this is what Theodore Roosevelt said in 1907 about immigrants. Theodore Roosevelt's ideas insist that if the immigrant who comes here in good faith becomes an American and assimilates himself to us, he shall be treated on an exact equality with everyone else, outraged to discriminate against any such man because of creed or birthplace or origin. But this is predicated upon the person's becoming in every facet an American and nothing but an American. There can be no divided allegiance here. Any man who says he is American, but something else also isn't an American at all. We have room for but one flag, the American flag. We have room for one language here, and that is the English language. And we have room for but one sole loyalty, and that is loyalty to the American people. Okay, so even though, we see people all the time say, oh, y'all are just American. Well, yeah, we are Americans. We're freedmen. We still need to delineate that we're a founding population of Americans. I'm not going to ever say that we should not be delineating ourselves as a part of a founding population of Americans that have a history here, because you see what is happening and taking place right now. We have a great deal of beings that are in our country that are now saying that this country was built by immigrants. So we got to take a stance, right? We have to take a stance. But this, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Brooke. I'm starting from the beginning. Yes, ma'am. We're going to go with it, because this it shows people how in the last 30, 40 years, we have multiple immigrants coming into the country that are now attempting to rewrite this history because they are not assimilating and becoming Americans. And even some of the Ellis Islanders did not really become truly installed into America, because they still have their enclaves too, right? We still have the Italians, we still have the Irish, they still have their areas, their neighborhoods. However, they have been here for a while, quite a bit of time. And they have actually, with the unions, we know that history, they kept us out of working, right? We're going to get into it, because this is us being the Americans. We're seeing a lot of things happen before our eyes right now, especially with this particular president in this presidency and administration. Okay, so I wanted to highlight that. I am actually showing this or putting this out there in most of the post tweets when people are talking about Trump being racist. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You came to a racist nation. Come on now. You know this America's a racist nation. I'm going to stop sharing that. So you all want to pull it off my page. It's everywhere. I'm posting it everywhere. So you can post it as well. So when we can check these people and let them know, no, you wasn't here in 1907. You just got here. This is how America operates. And we've been here doing it all along. It's nothing new for us. So whatever, you know what I mean? You decided to come to America knowing that it was a racist nation, or it's a racist nation because you know about the freedmen, the Black people here, and our oppression and our subjugation and what we've been doing and what we've had to do to just receive our humanity and equal rights. Right. So now don't play that like, oh, I didn't know. And don't play that, oh, he's been racist to me. No, because you've been racist to us too. Right. We're the only Black people here. We're the only freedmen in this country. And many that had immigrated to this country decided they wanted to participate in racism. And at this point in time, any of the immigrants that are identifying as Black, we know that they are participating in racism against us. And it's really identity theft, aka fraud, because they're not Black people. Now, they can say they're Americans, but at the end of the day, they are not Black Americans. They don't have the history. They're not freedmen, first and foremost. They're not freedmen. So only freedmen are the only Black people in this country where race was created as a social construct, pseudoscience to harm and injure specifically us, not them. So now they cannot come in and say they are too being discriminated against. Okay, so let's go over here. Now this is just my theory, right? This is where I'm at. Like we're not about to say you've been discriminated against because you came over here, you actively engaged with coming to this nation, knowing what was happening to the only Black people in this country. So, but you decided the strength of this nation was better. You had opportunities here, so you were gonna come here and you were gonna be American, right? That's what we thought. Okay, so we're gonna go to. I want to show this because now Minnesota. The spotlight's on Minnesota, y'all. We've gone from we seeing California to Illinois to now Minnesota. 3 different states, Democrat-led nations or Democrat-led states and local state politics. And we're witnessing and as they uncover more fraud. More and more fraud coming out of these states. So I'm going to go and locate the fraud of the Somalians. We'll go and there's an interview with Ilhan Omar. But first we're gonna go to the fraud. We have to cover the fraud of the Somalians so we can understand why Trump is saying what he's saying. Right. There's plenty of videos. And we know that they have found out, located that many of them have been participating in citizenship fraud, right? Marrying false identifications, claiming they're married and they're not married. Here we go. Immigration, U.S. citizenship and immigration. We're going to look at this. I'm going to play this again because it's been played before on one of my streams. But we want to listen to what they said, and then we're going to find out about that the Somalians have been completing or implementing in Minneapolis. They're saying billions, y'all, billions of dollars in fraud. And here we are, right? We up here fighting for reparations. And we got immigrants coming over here, and they all up in fraud and making money. And then we're told, oh, they don't have the money. But the immigrants making sure they are getting all kinds of money. Y'all help me out. Okay, so I'm going to play this. You can listen to this. Hold on, we're going to play. Make sure I have the volume. Hold on. We don't have the volume. Give me one moment. Make sure we have the volume going, because that's important for you all to understand that they are implementing right now, the Somalians are implementing fraud. And we already know, had it been us, okay, here we go. Had it been us, we would be prosecuted, keys thrown away, right? And here, with local state government officials being immigrants with fraud and taking your money. And we up here fighting for reparations. Come on now. Y'all help me out. How does this? Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna make sure you got it in. Okay. And make sure we got it in StreamYard. All right, and we're gonna play.
Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America. Focusing on a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies. Over the course of the operation, our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed. We found troubling patterns with the Uniting for Ukraine program that should have raised serious concerns under other administrations, such as an individual filing to sponsor more than 100 aliens, and organizations sponsoring hundreds. We are continuing to investigate these cases. Some of the other troubling cases that our officers found. In one case, officers identified an alien who had overstayed his visa waiver, who was the son of a known or suspected terrorist on the no-fly list. He had previously been found to have engaged in marriage fraud, which resulted in the denial of several immigration benefit requests. He was arrested and is now presently being returned to his country of origin. In another, an individual admitted to obtaining a fake death certificate in Kenya for just $100 to prove he was no longer married. In reality, his wife is alive, living here in Minneapolis, and is the mother of 5 of his children. And incidentally, he has another wife living in Sweden with whom he has an additional 3 children. In another case, an alien entered the United States without inspection in 2023, was released by Border Patrol. The alien married a U.S. citizen while in removal proceedings and was interviewed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul USCIS field office just last week, where both he and his American spouse, stated under oath that their marriage was legitimate. The USCIS officers conducting the interview were suspicious. The site visits were authorized the same day. The American spouse ultimately that afternoon admitted the marriage was fraudulent and entered into solely for immigration purposes and withdrew her petition for that alien. This type of same-day action for interview, from interview to site visit has...
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. That was a lot. That was a lot. They got a lot going on in Minnesota. They have a lot going on with the fraud with the Somalians. And they've only been here, you all, since the late 90s, middle 90s, late 90s, and then early 2000s. But we see the influx of them here in the United States, and they already are committing fraud. And then on top of that, I heard a council person say that they are also receiving all of the health and human services at the same time, or 50% of them are on welfare. And we know that there was a fraud claiming that their children was experiencing autism. That's one of the games. So we're going to get to that. It's a lot going on, you all, with the Somalians. And I have no problem with Trump calling them out. Because guess what? That's your money. That's your money. Yeah, that when they say they came over, yes, ma'am, there's no way these people are coming over with $1.75, $5 in their pocket. We've been helping these people, and now they're defrauding our government. And they'll be the same ones to tell you, you don't deserve no reparations. You got immigrants telling us, first of all, again, it's your First Amendment right. It's in your Constitution. You have the right to file grievances for redress with your government. And they over here straight up frauding you out of your money and sending it to Somalia. Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all not mad? Y'all should be mad. Because Trump's speaking up. I ain't mad at him. I'm not mad at him. Hold on, we're gonna share the screen again. We got the, hey, we getting this media out here. Real media. We ain't shucking and jiving on this now. Excuse me, I have to change my thing up over there, but we got to be real about what's going on. Okay, So I want to go to where someone listed all the fraud of the Somalians and how much money, the billions of dollars that they've been sending to Somalia. They are funding themselves out of America. They came here and sending the money to Somalia. Now, to finance supposedly terrorist organizations. Okay, so we gonna let me bring it up. It's here. Give me a moment. $1.7 billion, but I do believe there's the terrorists. Okay, so we'll I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna share my screen. Where they are saying that it's $1.7 billion that the Somalians have frauded out of America taxpayers. And it's known now that they are supporting known terrorists in their area. Let's see. Let me share my screen. YouTube. Okay. I want to make sure you can see over here on StreamYard. Okay. Here we go. Now, and I'll scroll here in a little bit, but I want you all to see saying in 2023, Somalians in Minnesota sent back $1.7 billion to their home country. Okay, more than an entire nation's budget. You all, come on. After this, at the same time, they're committing massive fraud via U.S. taxpayer programs to fund it. So they've talked about Somalian fraud rings have sent huge sums of money. You all, this is crazy. Look at what we're uncovering here. And you all talk about reparations, right? This is our tax dollars. These are our money. This is our money that they're funding their countries with. U.S. aid, we were already helping them with U.S. aid and all these other countries. We're already helping them. And then they still are coming here to the soil and frauding the American people, committing fraud, right? It's just a game. So I'm sharing, and we're going to scroll down and I'm going to go back into it because this is what's really ongoing here. We got to really look at what's happening. So no, I'm not about to sit here and say Trump is being racist. How? These people are off the chain. And you know, I cannot sit here and say that what they're doing is okay. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna listen to this news report on Fox where they're stunning report. Hold on, we're gonna listen to it now. We're gonna listen to it. I want to share my screen. We're gonna get into it so you all can hear. This is actually ongoing right now. So I have no problems with it, and because this is outrageous and what's going on right now. So I'm gonna share my screen again. And I'm doing this so people can see, look at this, or listen to, if they're able to view this podcast or this segment out on the YouTube, they can see this for themselves, that we're not lying when we talk about this, right? There's no lies being detected here, okay? We speaking truth to power, okay? And that's what the president has been doing right now, today. He's speaking truth to power. So here we go. We're going to show this. Let me make sure, okay? And we're gonna play this so you can all hear this, because this is what's ongoing. Are we making sure you're able to see? Okay.
A new stunning report from the City Journal showing a massive fraud scheme in Minnesota. You have to hear about this. It involves false autism claims, the Somali community, and connections to a terror group. Let's explain over at the Wall. Now, it all revolves around autism and HSS program. That is Minnesota's Medicaid Housing Stabilization Services. Now, this was created to help seniors, addicts, and others find housing, but the criteria to enter this program was incredibly loose and therefore easy to take advantage of. It's led to fraud and costs absolutely exploding. Just 5 years ago, in 2020, costs for this program were $2.6 million. 4 years later, by 2024, cost had been over $100 million, 104. Through the first 6 months of this year, costs are at 61 million, meaning if you double that over the entirety of the year, you're looking at $122 million. In 5 years, from 2 million to 122 million. Now, why? 6 people are accused of defrauding HSS, and they're members of the Somali community. But this just gets worse if we take a look at Minnesota's federally funded autism program. Now, several people, and this is an example, a woman in the Somali community, are co-conspirators, and they're accused of recruiting kids for autism therapy. They brought in families, had them convinced to get their kids diagnosed as autistic. In fact, these families ultimately ended up having various social services bid for their children, competing with the number size of check that they would get. It didn't matter if the kids had autism. And what happened? Autism claims to Medicaid surged. In 2018, $3 million. By 2023, listen here, from $3 million to $400 million. Autism providers jumped from 41 to 328 in 5 years. Now, City Journal reports that the Somali fraud rings send a lot of money back to Somalia. 40% of households in Somalia get remittances from abroad. That totals $1.7 billion. That is more than the entire budget of the Somali government. Money being sent abroad, from abroad, back to Somalia. Where is that money going? Take a look at this. Most alarmingly, a lot of that money is funneled through money traders, and in the end, ends up in the hands of al-Qaeda-linked Islamic terror group Al-Shabaab. So to bring this full circle, the Minnesota taxpayers are funneling money through fraudulent autism claims back to Somalia, where that money lands in the accounts of Al-Shabaab.
All right. Okay. There you have it. They have done their investigative reporting. They are letting us know where the funding has landed. And it hasn't landed in America. It landed in Somalia to a terrorist, a known terrorist, Al-Qaeda, a known Al-Qaeda terrorist group. Mind you, they're also committing fraud, immigration fraud here in America. You all, this is huge. This is so big. I can understand why the president was very upset. I'm upset. As an American, as Americans, we should all be very, very upset because this is huge. Our tax dollars, our money is now funding terrorist organizations. Okay, I'm going to keep pumping it out. We got some more to go. We're going to go back. We're going to go and look at Ilhan Omar. She did an actual interview. Hold on. All right. Let me get to her interview that was done this morning. And here it is. Okay, we're gonna share it. We're gonna share the screen again. Now she's front and center. We know that people have been saying that she is married to her. She married to her brother so he could get citizenship here, right? So now we're seeing where now we're seeing that they have been doing, it's like a trickle effect. We're seeing where they have actually now doing it themselves. If she married her brother, Ilhan Omar married her brother, she is now making sure that the Somalians implement the same play, right? They're now implementing the same play. And then now they're also defrauding the government or frauding our government. So, and we know that some of our own people are involved as well. So we're going to get to this next video. We got to listen to this video with her being interviewed this morning about what Trump said. Hold on. Let me make sure it's from the beginning. I'm going to share the screen. We're going to listen and see what she has to say. I did not listen to it. It came across my timeline because all of this is just wild to me. We're living in a different time, right? So let's share the screen. Let's get into it.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after Black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a Black immigrant that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota, but we chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
I agree. I love the tweet.
Okay, we're going to watch again. But you notice they're using Black now. Why can't you just be Somalian Americans? Why you're not Black? They're using race, operating in our identity. And this is, she's saying it again. He's been racist because she's Black, but they're not Black. The only Black people in America are the freedmen. We're the only individuals or beings, I should say, founding population of Americans that have been here from the very beginning, that have a legacy, lineage, history, culture, all of that in America. And we know we are the freedmen. And we know the freedmen was under Black, right? None of these immigrants who melanated immigrants can be Black because they're not freedmen. And we know the racial construct in America, I'm going to keep repeating it so everybody understands. The racial construct in America was created to harm and injure the freedmen. And it's all in the history. So just because they immigrate here, right, does not make them Black. And now that they are here out on in media, everywhere talking about I'm Black and Trump has been racist towards me. No, he's not. He's not being racist toward you because you're not Black. You're not a freedman, right? We're going to hear this one more again. So everybody understand that now that the heat is on the Somalians, they're Black and Trump has been racist. Not true. Racial is a construct, social construct in America, specifically created specifically to harm the freedmen, the only Black people that have been in this country before inception of a country. And we took Black and made it our ethnicity and ethnonym as it's our culture, right? So how is it that melanated immigrants that come to this soil, all of a sudden they get to be Black? No. You made a choice to come here. Again, I'm going to talk about that SWOT analysis. They made a conscious choice to come here. And when they completed their SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, they were never ever threatened about the racism that the Black American, aka Black American Negro freedmen, were experiencing in our country and our land, right? Because they were immune to it. It wasn't going to happen to them. It don't happen to them. Because you all are Black Americans. We're not the same, right? Well, how many times do we hear that? So now you want to claim Black and that the president has been racist towards you? No, he's not. The president is actually standing in his power. And that power is, we see a group of immigrants that are not aligning and assimilating to American ideals, and they are funding known terrorists via our American dollars. Come on now, let's hear it again. I'm gonna watch. Oh, will it let me? Okay, hold on. I might stop sharing one more time and play it again because it's not allowing me. Let's hear. Give me one moment. I'm gonna reshare again because now all of a sudden everybody's Black, y'all. Everybody Black like us now. All of a sudden they got to be Black like us. No, you're not. No, you're not. This is not your story. Okay? You're not being discriminated against. All right, let's make sure this is being shared. And I'm going to share again. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to see. Watch again. Hold on. Get it set up. All right. So I want to make sure it's set up. We're going to share one more time. And y'all want y'all to hear how Black. Everybody here is Black like us. All of a sudden, we know that's not true. Okay, here we go. Oh, why is my let's see if it's sharing. Okay, I got you on YouTube. Let's see. When I want to play for me, that's what I don't like. Okay, let's see if it plays now. We're in StreamYard. Yeah, okay, we're gonna play.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country and after Black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a Black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
I agree. I love the tweet.
Okay. We're going to do it again.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after Black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a Black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing now. We know that they are committing fraud. And fraud is a way for the government to denaturalize and deport. I'm not sure if Ilhan Omar understands that we don't care in America. It doesn't matter if you have Americans, if you were naturalized in America, we have the right to denaturalize you and deport you for fraud. It's written. It's there. And there was a video by a young lady that was expressing and explaining that they had to gain their citizenship via naturalization process. Now, we are born natural, native, indigenous to this soil. So there's no way that we as Americans can be deported, which is a part of the scam or the psyops that they're performing on some of Black Americans, trying to say that we're just like immigrants, which we're not. So I wanted to show you what they're now saying, Black immigrant, right? So now all of a sudden, we're in this pool with everybody. And everything falls on us as Americans. And even more reason why we must make sure we delineate, ethno-aggregate, separate from all of these other immigrant groups, because they're not Americans. They're not Americans. They're not even assimilating. How can your community that just got here be included in all of this fraud in the last 5 years, right? That's what we're finding out. Great deal of them are implementing fraud. Even other ethnic groups that have immigrated to America are committing fraud here against the American citizens. We didn't have as much fraud as we have now. So, all right. Thank you. Let the dead bury the dead 12 for reposting the stream. I really appreciate it. We're going to keep going through all of this information. Now, the other thing that I want to highlight is that the pause. There is the pause happening on immigration, on refugee, asylum seekers. Trump said he's put a pause on all of it, right? For right now. He's also made sure that there's 19 nations that are not going to be able to immigrate here to America. He's put a pause on that. So let's look at what has come out about the pause on immigration. And there were some things that he literally said himself, that President Trump said himself. So if I can find those. Okay, here we go. Here's one. The United States has halted all pending asylum applications, immigration benefit requests for citizens from 19 non-European countries. I'll show that on the screen so you all can see that this is actually happening. Now, you all know that I've been saying from the very beginning we should have an immigration moratorium. It looks like we're getting there. A pause is not exactly a moratorium. However, it is very close. And I'm excited because that's exactly what I wanted. I'm happy that we're getting there, and and we have Congress people as well that are getting there. So, you know, we're getting there. We are getting there where we're going to make sure we have an immigration moratorium. And I'm excited about it. I'm not even going to trip on it. I'm excited about it. I want it to happen. You know, I want it to happen. Let's see. I'm sharing. Give me one moment. I'm going to go back into sharing the tab, share a tab on X, and then so I can scroll through and you guys can go with me as I scroll through. I hit the wrong thing there. So, okay, so states, right? This is according to a memo issued by the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration. We are definitely, at this point in time, making sure there is a pause on immigration in America, right? These beings cannot actually now just immigrate here. So Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of Congo, Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, never heard of it before, and then Venezuela. I don't know if that's a part of Turkey or what. Never heard of it. All of these beings are coming to America, y'all. All of these beings now, and all these people coming to America are not Americans. Okay, no way they can be Americans. They haven't been here long enough to assimilate. Now we're going to listen to Representative Chip Roy, and he's outlined his Pause Act, that is a bill that freezes all immigration until H-1B is ended. Chain migration is reformed and birthright citizenship is dealt with. And he's been interviewed by Benny Johnson, but we're going to play this because we want to hear what he has to say. I'm all for Chip Roy's
the dream of home ownership and a functional society.
I'm all for Chip Roy's bill, and we should get on board. So let's hear what he has to say about his bill.
Dream of home ownership and a functional society has collapsed in one generation since the greatest generation in World War II. And it's something that we got to fix. Charlie's solution, obviously, is mass deportations and ending H-1B scams, among other things. What's your take on this, Congressman?
Well, first of all, I did listen to virtually all of Byron's interview, and there's a reason that I've endorsed him for governor. We agree these issues. So I agree with much of what he said. But what I would just add is, as you know, in Texas, we've been dealing with the brunt of the illegal immigration influence. But now we're seeing, I think, the ramifications of the H-1B system and how it has been abused, in addition to chain migration and diversity visas, which we've been trying to fix for a long time. And we've been unable to do so. You'll remember back in 2018 with the various bills that were being debated in President Trump's first term, and we were unable to get that resolved as Republicans, and it left it both broken with respect to the illegal immigration system. We didn't get the wall fully built. We didn't get fixes to all of the asylum problems and the abuse of parole and the catch and release. But we also didn't address ending the chain migration and diversity visas. We had language to do it. We just couldn't get the votes. So now, what are we dealing with in Texas? We're dealing with a massive Islamism problem. We're dealing with a massive problem of the advancement of Sharia law. We're dealing with a mass community that is growing up that have no desire to assimilate and come here to become American and embrace Western civilization, embrace our Constitution, embrace our values. We've allowed the corporatists to define our entire national policy. And if I were going to go talk about what Charlie's tweet there was about, that summary, which is exceptionally on point, and as he always was when he was starting from faith, family, the foundational principles, and that encapsulates it very well. You should be able to own a home. You should be able to have Americans getting jobs. And the mass deportation is correct. The ending H-1B visas is correct, etc. But what I would point out here is that we're dealing with a cultural problem about who we are as Americans. Going back a couple of years ago, I was noting 51 million people in this country are foreign born, Ben. That's something like 16 or 17% of the population. Now, that is higher than it's ever been. That is higher than it was in the early 20th century, right, when we had the massive wave coming in. We've got a mass foreign-born population, but here's the kicker. It is on the back of, as Byron noted, a failed education system. Not just failing us in terms of skill sets, which is germane to the H-1B question, but failing us in terms of teaching Western civilization, in terms of teaching God, in terms of teaching our values and belief in the Declaration, teaching English, etc. Now where English is a second language, we teach other languages. We don't really teach the Constitution. We don't teach Western civilization. America is evil. Apologize for our existence. We don't really get to then even reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? And now we've got the problem where we've imported masses of people, and the people we're importing are often the ones that are churning babies. Our core, Americans who inherited this country aren't having babies. And now we have a demographics problem and we have a cultural problem. And in Texas, that has resulted in Epic City, a big Islamic center in Houston, 300 mosques across the state and growing, more mosques every day getting put in Texas than any other state in the union. And if we lose Texas, we lose the country. So that was a lot I just dumped on you, but I wanted to go into that different lane beyond just the H-1B tech, business bro problem, because that has led to a massive cultural problem that is something we've got to address. So,
okay. All right. I'm going to stop because that was a lot. But I love how he's able to break it down on what's really happening in America right now. And that is not us getting swamped in with all of these immigrants where we are not, as Americans and as the freedmen, they don't even recognize us, right? They're saying they're now taking over education-wise and saying that this is a nation built by immigrants. And you just heard he say the education system, they're not teaching actual American history. They're not teaching the Constitution. These people are just coming here and, hey, having a field day. I'm just here to take, right? I'm just here to get what I can get out of America because they can go back home, right? They can go back home. They have somewhere else to go after America's destroyed. They don't get to stay here. They don't have to stay here. So this is huge, right? In that if we stop immigration and there's the immigration moratorium and we're able to go back and realign our immigration policies, right? And I'm all for implementing quotas again. Nothing wrong with implementing quotas. All for it again. But I'm going to show you, you all know she's on my page. She's on my page. And she's our great ancestor. She didn't do this work based on her gender either or her sexuality. So I'm gonna play this for you. I'm gonna play this because we have now the Democrats are in office saying that everybody that steps foot on this soil they should have a right to stay here, even if they came here illegally and did not go through our immigration naturalization act process, right? They should stay here. So I'm gonna play this for our people that don't understand when they say that these beings should stay here on this soil, actually saying us as the American freedmen that have been here from the beginning inception of this country, we have all kinds of equity in our country. Immigrants get to come here and just say and do anything where we've been hampered and hindered, right? And we should be hold on, let me get to
illegal aliens don't have
to it. We fought for certain things for ourselves to have in our country, in our homeland. And now we're witnessing all the immigrants come in, right? They just get to come in and benefit off of everything. And we as the Americans are still left behind. How's that happen? How does that make sense? Okay, let me play this. Y'all listen to our great ancestor, Barbara Jordan. She had it going on. She did the work. She did the work while she was in office to make sure she attempted to make sure they go and reform the immigration system. But no, don't listen to Black people in America, right? They don't listen to the freedmen. But everything's coming full circle. They're going to have to do everything that the freedmen have been talking about doing. But here we go.
illegal aliens don't have the right to be here. They broke the law to get here. They never intended to become a part of our social community, and they are not entitled to benefits. If a person is here unlawfully, he should be entitled to no benefits. No benefits. If illegal aliens require other aid, then that aid should be granted in their own country.
All right. I'll play it one more time. One more again.
Illegal aliens don't have the right to be here. They broke the law to get here. They never intended to become a part of our social community, and they are not entitled to benefits. If a person is here unlawfully, he should be entitled to no benefits. No benefits. If illegal aliens require other aid, then that aid should be granted in their own country. Illegal aliens don't have the right to be here. They broke the law to get here.
Right.
They never intended to become a part of our social community.
I'm going to stop it there. And we're going to keep going because I want to show, I'm going to go and I want you all to see where we have, they're stopping the Haitian, right? Haitians in 2026, TPS will be gone, right? We know that that's upcoming for them. Now they're going to say that's racist too, right? They're going to say that's racist too, right? Because Trump is stopping TPS. They are asylum seekers, refugees. Some they said came over due to the earthquake or was it the earthquake that they had in Haiti? Well, listen to this gentleman bragging, and now look at what happened. What is happening? So you know, at the time that we were like, y'all get yourself together and go on back to your country. Get your country.
Immigrants. What do you think we came?
Hold on. Get your country together. Go do what you need to do for yourselves in your country. They didn't believe that we had the power, right? They were talking bad at us, telling us we had no power. We're third class, fourth class citizens. We had no power. But look at what's happening now. But check this out. I love how there's a follow up to what this gentleman was saying. Here we go.
Walk around. We're immigrants. What do you think?
Back to the
We're immigrants. What do you think we came? We're immigrants. What do you think we came here for? Walk around? Nah, not to count sheep. We came to drink milk. Okay, so we've taken your jobs, and there's nothing you can do about it. You understand? And they gotta pay me more because I got better work ethics. Better work ethics. I have more skills than you do. What you gonna do? That's what I thought. Nothing. We'll be mad. Oh, immigrants are taking our jobs. Yes, we are. You're all taking your jobs. Keep sitting at home playing that Xbox, okay?
Few moments later.
Protected status for Asian migrants, over 300,000. I think it was 350,000 Asian migrants. Is coming to an end, unfortunately. The Trump administration and Kristi Noem has decided that Haiti no longer meets the criteria of what they'll call refugee status or something to that nature, right? So they're moving ahead and removing the temporary protected status for over 300,000 Asians, and it starts to begin as soon as around early February. You dig what I'm saying? Now, according to the human rights group that are on the ground in Haiti, seeing firsthand what's going on, it's bad on the ground. For those who know, you know. Okay, there's still a lot of things.
All right. So I'm gonna stop. We know that they're now going to have to go back home and fix their country, which should be an objective, a goal of theirs anyway, right? We would think that they would want to go back home and help their people fix their countries. And then some of the ones that have been here in America, you would think that they would get together with their people here and make sure that they go back with them and help them to fix their country and run for offices over there and take over their country, right? And be political in their country. But no, they want to come and stay here in America and claim they are us to take our benefits and our resources. Y'all don't see the issue with that? I have an issue with it. So now we have a sitting president that says, you know what? I'm going to push you on out the door and help you to go on back over there to Haiti and get some things together for yourselves. Because everybody can't come here to America. And you're not the freedmen. Because freedmen can't be deported. You're not Black Americans, because the real Black Americans, aka the freedmen, cannot be deported. So yes, ma'am, they got issues. They got some serious issues. You're right on that, Miss Billionaire. And to not want to go back to their homeland and help their people and rebuild and get back into a better predicament or situation for their people and their nation, since they're waving their flag over here all the time. I'm gonna go back to it. Let me show you one more again. What did Teddy say? For those that didn't see it at the beginning of the show, and I'm gonna get ready to close out, you all. For those of you that didn't see it at the beginning of the show, let me show you what Theodore Roosevelt said. So when people say they have a problem with Trump and what Trump is doing right now, we had a president in 1907 that said, you know what? If you can't get with assimilating and becoming American, you don't need to be here. We're not going to accept that, right? I'm going to put it back on the screen. And then I'm going to go to one more video. And that video is going to be Trump speaking on. There we go. We there? Okay. Well, let me stop sharing. Hold on 1 second. I don't need that video within the video. I'm gonna share. I want y'all to hear what Trump said about doing business with Black America. Because he's open for business with us, Americans first. I hope we understand what's going on when he said he's open for business, right? Read that. I want y'all to make sure you understand and read what Theodore Roosevelt said in 1907 about immigrants in America, right? He said we shouldn't be discriminating because of creed or birthplace or origin. However, he did add this, but this is predicated upon the person's becoming in every facet an American and nothing but an American. Now, we know that they are saying that they're American, they are Black. That doesn't mean you're American. You can still stand in who you are, right? Your culture, your people. But you ain't got to be, you're not Black like us. Ain't no way, right? You're not the freedmen. The freedmen, we have to delineate. We're found in population. I think a lot of the Mayflowers and Wasps are understanding that they have to delineate too, because they're getting washed away, erased. We got immigrants now here saying that they built America. Come on now. This says there can be no divided allegiance here. Any man who says he is an American, but something else also isn't an American at all. We have room but for one flag, the American flag. How many Caribbeans we know wave their flags on this soil? West Indian, Africans waving their flags on this soil. We have room but for one language here, and that is the English language. And we have room but for one side, that's loyalty and loyalty to the American people. Now, we already know these people are not loyal to America, and they're not even loyal to us. Look at how they talk about us, right? And we the Americans. No respect, totally disrespectful to us and our history and our story. Okay, so I'm gonna go and find the one more thing, and we're gonna roll out. Trump, Black History Month. I want y'all to hear what he said, because I'm going to keep reiterating. We need to be speaking about our agenda and what we demand for ourselves, right? So that's very important. And we have to make sure we are advocating for ourselves and our country and our Black agenda, or our freedmen, I should say our freedmen agenda. Let's see. Okay, that ain't gonna come up. I'm gonna stop sharing, I'll get the actual video, and we're gonna play that, and I'm gonna tune out after we play that video. So let me find Trump's Black History Month speech about immigration. He knows immigration hurts Black Americans the most. And I'll have another podcast when we talk about immigration, the impact of immigration on our people, our community, and how there's studies. They know this, right? They know this. So we have an opportunity to make sure at this point in time that we sit at the table with the Trump administration and we create and make sure we have our agenda ourselves. And you all know that I'm promoting the office or the borough restructuring, reestablishing the borough of Freedmen Affairs or offices of Freedmen Agency. So I want to get to the end of this particular address that he made to us. I was there with some more of our people, advocates, at the White House this past year in February, where he literally states, he comes out and states certain things that we can leverage in our favor. And when they say holding Trump accountable, right? We can hold Trump accountable, right? So we're going to go to that little clip. And I want you all to make sure you keep this in mind as we move forward. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to get to 1951. Let's see what he says. And we're going to play these last 4 minutes of what he says so that you can hear what he is speaking on and how we can move forward, because right now things are aligning for us. I'm going to keep saying it. There's so many things aligning for us that we can move forward and leverage for ourselves and our community. So, okay, let's see. All right, let's start here. I think this is where he's actually. Okay, here we go. Together, we're going to be fighting long and hard for Black Americans and all Americans. 1950. Okay, so we're gonna start it here, and I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share the screen because I want y'all to make sure you hear what he said, and we see what's happening right now. He's getting rid of the immigrants now, moving them out the way. There's no reason why we should not be front and center speaking about what we demand for our community, for the freedmen. So I'll play this and we'll be out.
Even 4 years, we brought our country back. It's 4 weeks. Today is our 4th week. It's the end of the week. We are now starting our 5th, and I think we've done more in 4 weeks. Well, certainly than the last administration did in 4 years. They actually went negative. They actually went in the wrong direction. Together, we're going to be fighting long and hard for Black Americans and all Americans. We're going to be fighting for all Americans. We've secured our border, and we're stopped country. You know, our border right now is more secure than it's ever been. And we had the record 4 years ago. We had the record. We had the lowest number in history, and now the numbers, Tim, are even lower than they were then. And we're honored. We're allowing people to come in from all over the world, from prisons and jails, mental institutions, insane asylums, gang members. They had drug dealers. They had everybody dropping in. And we had this ridiculous open border policy. They drop in. And I'll tell you, the people that were affected the most were Black people. You were affected the most in terms of the crime, in terms of the drugs and everything else. And we have the border shut down. We allow people to come in. We want people to come in, Tim, but we want them to come in legally. They're going to come through legally. So we're protecting American workers, including millions of Black workers. And we have a thing called reciprocal tariffs. If they charge us, we charge them. This is opening up. We just signed the bill, and we're going to take in billions and billions of dollars, and we're making our country very healthy again and very rich again. We want to be very rich again. We've been taken advantage by everybody, and you've been watching Doge, where we found billions, tens of billions of dollars of fraud and waste and abuse, and that's just the beginning. And Elon Musk has done an amazing job, I have to tell you. Him and his super geniuses, you know, these are seriously high IQ people. And nobody's going to talk them out of anything. They go in and they're finding billions. I mean, literally tens of billions of dollars that we just started. And I think that's going to have a big, big impact, Brooke, right? So we want to just really say, and I have to say to you, I look at this turnout, I look at the love in the room. This is just love in the room. And I remember the first time I did this, my first administration, one of my first meetings, there wasn't this large a crowd, Tiger. We had about 5 people in the front. We had maybe five Black people right in the front, right about there. I said, is anybody else coming? Is this it? Are we open? I don't even think Tim Scott, I know Turner wasn't there. I don't think Tim Scott was there either. I'm not sure. But that's all changed. And we got the highest vote. And one of the big reasons I'm president today is because of the Black vote. And I just, and I always appreciate it. So this is a very special time. It's Black History Month. We love you all. We're going to work with you. We're going to make America greater than ever before. We're going to do it together. And I want to thank you all for being here. It's an incredible honor. And to my great golfing friends, I want to thank them in particular because they really are. They make a lot of money. They don't have to be up here with me. Tiger doesn't have to be here. Adam doesn't have to. They don't need this. But they love you and they love our country. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So there, the border closed. I didn't get to the part where he does speak about that he knows immigration has hurt Black Americans the most. So you know what? I think on my next podcast, I'll open up with that. We'll listen to the actual entire speech, and then we'll also go into all the studies. They're very much aware of the studies of how illegal immigration has hurt our community. And then I'll highlight some of our ancestors that spoke about immigration and how it was even impacting our ancestors and elders back in 19, I think it was A. Philip Randolph. His quote is in 1912, 1920. We're gonna cover it because this is not new. Anything new for us. We're repeating these patterns of behaviors. However, we have the opportunity right now to break out of the matrix, y'all. And I'm excited about it because we do have an active president right now that is willing to work with us, and we break up out of the matrix. That's what I call it. So we're not repeating these same patterns of behaviors all over again and over and over. Early 1900s. It was the early 1900s. And look at what Teddy Roosevelt was saying in the early 1900s. Like, immigration has always been an issue for our people. And at this point in time, when I see that our beings are like, oh, no, they're not doing anything. Oh, they're funneling your money, honey. Not only have we been paying to help their countries and help them in their countries, they're now on the soil making sure your tax dollars go back to their home country. Like remittances or or supporting these terrorist organizations. Like, we got to really talk about it, you all. But this is all that I have for today. I just wanted to make sure I highlighted, yes, ma'am. I highlighted how at this point in time, it is all theft. And now they're operating in our identity too as Black. Oh no. Oh no. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. So we got to shut this down. So with that, you all, I really appreciate you. Thank you for attending and being here, Miss Billionaire, and supporting. Any of you out on X, thank you for being here and supporting. And with that, I'm going to have to sign off, you all. And I'm going to say love, peace, happiness, and reparations.